So my name is Bhupen Wakankar. I lead the Amazon exports business. And I'm here over the next 5 or 10 minutes to give you some examples of how stuff is already moving and give you some case examples of what it means to be exporting on an e-commerce platform. So the name of my team is Amazon Global Selling. And let me first start by saying, how many of you have heard the word e-commerce and exports right next to each other? How many of you think e-commerce exports is possible? We all know what is e-commerce. We all know what is exports. When we do e-commerce exports, all of a sudden, lots of question marks show up. Really? Is that possible? I don't even know what technology is needed. I don't even know how do I get access to different markets. How do I ship my goods there? How do I price my goods over there? And so on. Well, the answer to all of these questions is Amazon Global Selling. And over the next a few minutes, I'm going to try and walk you through what Amazon Global Selling is, the journey so far, and why we are super excited about e-commerce exports. So the title of the talk is A Sunrise Sector. As many of you know, India has set a very ambitious target of $1 trillion in merchandise exports by the end of this decade. And the Ministry of Commerce, when the foreign trade policy was published in 2023, nearly 2 years ago now, has said that 20 to 30% of that will be e-commerce exports. So that's really $200 to $300 billion of e-commerce exports coming out of India by the end of the decade. And that's really the size of the market that we are talking about, a CAGR of anywhere between 20 to 30%, depending on which category that you're talking about, right? Now, why do we feel that that's the size of the market, and why do we feel like this is something that Indian retailers can very easily tap into? Well, the fact of the matter is the B2C e-commerce market globally, which means consumers like you and me who are sitting in Dubai, USA, UK, Germany, Japan, and all the advanced economies of the world are shopping on Amazon.com, Amazon.uk, and so on and so forth. And that market is of that size, $5.7 trillion. And it's really rising fast. The penetration of e-commerce is rising fast, even in advanced economies. So why should our brands, why should our retailers play only in India? Who has said that retailing is limited to a political boundary? It's only in our minds that we have drawn these boundaries, and I'm here to share what technology and tools through Amazon are available to you should you expand using Amazon's global selling platform. Yeah. A few other points. I think the program in itself is actually entering its 10th year now. By end of 2025, we would have completed 10 years. We actually have over 1.5 lakh sellers who have already tried the program, and they are from over 200 cities. So this is really intended to be an at scale for the smallest of entrepreneurs to come on board and list their products and sell not only on Amazon.in, but also Amazon.com and all the other marketplaces that we have. And the key value proposition of global selling essentially is you have taken all the headache away. You focus on your product. You focus on your customer. We're going to help you with market access. We're going to help you with listings. We're going to help you with logistics and all of that. And I'll take the time to sort of walk you through some of those things, right? It's a sunrise sector also because it's not something that entrepreneurs and technology players like Amazon are getting involved. A whole bunch of ecosystem has realized that e-commerce exports is here and is going to scale. And the government also, in most recent budget also, you probably would have heard terms like e-commerce export hubs. You would have heard terms like trade nets. You would have heard export mission and so on. So a lot of focus even in the budget on e-commerce exports, and I'll talk through some of that. So that's really the summary bullet points. Let's just jump in. I talked a little bit about this. Not many people would be aware, but we are in the 10th year of our program. So it started in 2015. Just to give you a hint, at the 5-year mark in 2020, we had done $5 billion in exports. By the time we are entering the 10th year, we would have done $20 billion. So we tripled it in the next 5 years. And in the next 5 years, we are saying $80 billion, which means we are going to triple from here on. And so that's really the hockey stick that we are talking about. And it's been driven by all MSME sellers. Remember, this is not Amazon.com's revenue. This is all brands and retailers from India listing their products and getting the GMS directly with them. Really broad brush, pretty much every state that has any export hub, export center, export city is represented now on Amazon Global Selling. We are really happy with how much we have created in terms of awareness. I'll talk to a little bit of some success stories. Often the questions we ask is what products are working really, really well. Again, like all things Amazon, it is everything store, all things that India does really well in terms of our offline exports. Think apparel, think food, think toys, think healthcare and personal products. Now people are creating brands out of India and listing them on .com and not just playing a B2B role in exports, but also a B2C role. And I'll walk you through some examples. Just a plug for Amazon Global Selling. The moment you as a brand sign on to Global Selling, you have access to all of these advanced economies. And these are really the top players, top countries where our sellers are exporting today. We are in Maharashtra. I like to give a little bit of a local flavor. One of the largest representations is, of course, from Maharashtra, considering the size of the state economy. But look how diverse it is. We have automotive products, furniture, jewelry, toys, home. So pretty much the full spectrum of stuff that you and I use at home or in our office or in our transit. Why should Indian brands be limited to serving customers based in India only? They are equipped to serve customers doing the same. Customers in the US have the same needs as customers here. And our sellers and brands are starting to serve them really, really well. Glamberg is really a good example of a towel brand straight out of Mumbai. It's a brainchild of Saurabh and Ruchika Agarwal. Again, they've been on Amazon Global Selling since 2017, and they are doing north of 7-figure business with us. Really growing 15 to 20% year on over since the last 5 or 6 years. So really large possibilities. And before we jump in, I'll try and just summarize. Before we jump into the customer videos, that is, I'll try and summarize. Amazon Global Selling as a technology platform gives you the six-step process that we talk about. Market access, which means when you list on Global Selling, you can have your product delivered to 200 countries and territories the world over. Amazon delivers to pretty much every corner of the world right now. And when you list on Amazon.com, all of this becomes available to you. But all of that sounds very easy. How do I know what compliance requirements are there? How do I even navigate the export landscape? So to ease the seller's burden in terms of awareness of how easy exports is, we've created tools such as Export Navigator, multi-language listing optimizer, cross-border shipping, cross-border payments, cross-border advertising, and so on. I will not get into tremendous amount of detail over here. We have an Amazon Global Selling booth just as you step outside over here. There's a whole bunch of detail that is available to you should you want to get a little more specifics. But the short answer is we have taken care of all the nitty-gritty, all the painful stuff that a brand has to discover on her own, or the seller has to discover on her own. And we want you to use those tools and get closer to the customer insights, and build products based out of India. I talked a little bit about Export Navigator already. All parts of registration processes, product documentation, shipping documentation, all of this is very well documented. I really want you to leave this room saying, agar export karna hai, to Amazon has figured out all aspects of exports. This is the place you can go and find a little more details. Go talk to the guys in the booth that we have, and you should be on your way on your export journey. One of the other things that we've realized is cross-border logistics is a large pain point. Small sellers often feel that I don't have the negotiating power that a large business would have in terms of negotiating with logistics providers. Well, Amazon Global Selling has created our own Send program where we contract with multiple logistics providers, and you can use sort of pooled rates for your cross-border logistics. So very, very seamlessly integrated with all our warehousing solutions, and it's a program that's entering its 4th year now, and we're really proud about how sellers are adopting it. So enough said about tools and technology and Amazon. I wanted to just showcase a story, and I really picked this story because this is a brand out of Ahmedabad, and when you think about e-commerce, mostly we still think electronics. We still think people are going to buy cell phones and headphones and things of that variety. But globally, that's not the case. The largest categories are home and kitchen and consumable products. And this is an example of a company called My Nature, and how they converted bentonite clay or Multani Mitti into a brand and a consumer product. So I'll hit play, and then I'll tell you a few salient features.
में सिर्फ एक नुस्खा नहीं, भारत की झलक नजर आएगी। कहानी की शुरुआत तो छोटी सी ही की थी जैन साहब ने, पर जब पता चला कि दुनिया भारत के नुस्खों को ढूंढ रही है, तो कुछ देसी नुस्खे विदेश पहुंचाने की ठानी।
मामा, हम Amazon पे भी सेल कर सकते हैं।
और कुछ अपनों के साथ ये सफर शुरू किया।
गाड़ी ने स्पीड तो तब पकड़ी जब पता चला कि मुल्तानी मिट्टी सिर्फ भारत में ही नहीं, विदेश में भी इतनी ही फेमस है। बस फिर क्या था, हजारों नायाब नुस्खे इन्होंने कई देशों तक पहुंचाए। और दुनिया से जो प्यार मिला, उसने इनसे जुड़ी जिंदगियों को संवार दिया। कुछ समय बाद माय नेचर अमेज़न पर टॉप सेलर बना, तो आज कुछ इस तरह दुनिया तक पहुंच रही है भारत की विरासत।
That's really our mission, India से दुनिया तक. Thank you. In fact, some of our sellers are actually going to be speaking in different slots over here as well. But I think there are a few things. First of all, none of these are actors. These are actually stuff filmed in their warehouses, in their offices. And you've seen the 2015 journey. They were literally shipping quintals of bags full of Multani Mitti. And then they have converted into a consumer product, and they're able to derive the full retail value out of that product. And you see the journey. In 2019 they started, and that's really their office. This is an ad that we built towards the end of 2024. So all of this stuff is possible. All of this stuff is possible, especially the second generation. Like the woman in the video said, Mama ji, why are we just doing B2B exports? We can sell on Amazon.com. That's really how it started. And there are so many of these stories. So I'll slowly stop talking about Amazon and start talking about the brands. Who would have thought that when we think about exports out of India, dog biscuits, how many people thought dog biscuits can be made in India and exported to America and UK and so on? Well, this is a brand out of Bangalore, Dogsee Chews. Biscuits laced in yak milk, dogs love. And they manufacture this in India. And notice the reviews, 1,200 reviews. I don't know if you at the back can see all of that, but 1,200 reviews, over 200 units bought per month. These are not examples of, ikka dukka products selling just because, we did some artisanal stuff. This is stuff that US, UK customers buy on a regular basis, on a daily basis for themselves, for their pets, for their children, for their families. Red Earth, again, home decor. Many people would have thought, well, how can I ship large items like poofs and stools and, cushions? Can I really sell all of this stuff from India to the US? Well, not only has it been done, it's been done really, really successfully. Look at the poof ottoman over here on the bottom left, the round one selling at $55, 3,000 reviews already. And available next day, because this is an FBA seller and they are in all our forward deployed warehouses in America. And look at the footprint that they have established in home decor, kitchen and dining. So brands are not doing this with just one product or two products or three products. They are doing it with 20, 30, 50, hundreds of products. And that's what the global selling platform enables them to do. This one really hits home well when we are in Bangalore. Satya is a big brand for Sandalwood incense. Who would have thought agarbattis would sell on e-commerce exports? Is that the first name that comes to your mind? No, but it is possible. Not only is it possible, it's thriving. Organic Weda Shumi, which is a toys brand based out of Bangalore, again, wooden toys, educational toys for young ones. Tatsat as an Ayurvedic brand, eyeliners. It started by a couple in Bangalore. The husband's an IT engineer, the wife was an Ayurveda doctor. They figured out that kajal made out of particular herb eliminates a whole bunch of irritability factors. They've actually created a brand out of it and they've launched it. It's really a 2, 3, 4, 5 member team that can get started on Amazon global selling. So I thought I'll pause here. This is really the sort of jumping off point at the end of this conversation. I want you to feel encouraged to realize that e-commerce and exports not only is possible, it's a thriving industry. It's an industry that is scaling tremendously. The government's getting behind it. RAI is looking to figure out how we can do a lot more on the exports fronts. How do we get our manufacturers working with our retailers to build brands for the export market? So I'm personally very excited about this space, and I hope to talk to you more when we are at the booth over there. So thank you.